From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your evening update.
You want to go where to buy a new refrigerator? Steve's A to Z Appliance in Cottonwood? In Cottonwood? Just a 10-minute drive. And they'll save us money. New and used, honest, reliable, factory-trained repair service and parts, and they'll save us money. And dispose of this thing? We gotta make the short drive to Steve's A to Z. Thanks, son.
Steve's A to Z Appliance, front and main streets in Cottonwood. Drive a little, save a lot.
Good evening, everyone. Well, just like Monday, it was a fairly active day, and as expected, it was a stronger storm system than on Monday, and it packed quite a punch for some of us, but not everyone. So it just depends on where you are. There were gusty winds. There were even power outages because of the weather. That was mainly around, say, Willow Creek westward. And then, of course, there were some power outages just south of Eureka as well, kind of in the Ferndale area as well. But overall, not a lot of power outages, but the winds were very gusty. Let's start off with the amount of rainfall that we did see today. And you can see most of it was along the coast, as we would expect, right? Especially after the northwest. We saw about a ½ an inch in Redding, but not nearly as much heading to the south. Once again, I think the forecast models did a really good job estimating, at least for today, how much rain we would see out of this system. And then, of course, really didn't see much off to the east, because essentially what happened was it was strongest on the coast, pretty strong even for the north end of the valley, and then it just really started to break apart as it shifted eastward and moved into the eastern mountains. However, there were still some very strong winds associated with this, and there you can see in the last 24 hours, the strongest winds were, of course, around Crescent City at about 48 miles per hour. Now, most of those winds, these strongest winds here on the coast and really off to the west, were this morning. And then around midday, the strongest winds were in the valley. And we're seeing some of those stronger winds here, even this evening here, for many of the areas east as well. But some of these peak gusts, 52 miles per hour out in El Turris and Susanville, about 40 miles per hour. So the winds, as expected, very strong out there in some areas here, but it looks like the wind should subside by tomorrow. Hey, by the way, if you saw snow or if you saw any kind of storm damage, let me know. I'd love for you to share those photos from the free Weather NorCal app. Just let me know where you are, and if we're dealing with snow, your elevation and how much snow you did see. And if you should send those through the free Weather NorCal app, look for them on Coffee with Kruger at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning and on the 6 o'clock morning update on Thursday. Of course, that's tomorrow. All right, so here's a look at Kruger's Quickcast for your Wednesday, November 13th. For tonight, we're dropping down in the mid to upper 40s in the valley. We're going to be looking at some scattered showers out there. Also in the eastern mountains, some snow flurries as well. And maybe even an isolated thunderstorm for parts west of the valley here for tonight, but mainly just some scattered showers out there. So out the door tomorrow morning, again, you'll see those lightning strikes for the coast, but mainly just some showers, and it looks like that'll be the case here. Now, it looks like Modoc County Eastern Mountains starting off dry, but there may eventually be some snow flurries and showers off to the east as well. There's the cold front. That's the cold front pushing off to the east here. Now it's just kind of turned into what we call a trough right over here. But bottom line, we're now behind that main storm system. And what we've got here with that flow around that area of low pressure is we've got this cold and unstable air that's moving on in, and that's going to allow us to see a chance for more scattered showers and, yeah, maybe even a few thunderstorms. The areas in green here are giving us that basically the best chances for thunderstorms tomorrow morning and even tomorrow afternoon. So let's take a look at Futurecast here through tomorrow. Snow levels on average somewhere between 3,500, 4,500 feet. Tonight, we're still looking at some scattered showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm. Looks like most of the activity, though, is up to the north and to the west. We're really not seeing much in the valley. Let's take you into tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. There's that round of rain, maybe some thunderstorms embedded in there. That's also the case for Trinity County. We're not seeing as much activity, though, for the valley eastward. Then we take you into about noon tomorrow. We're kind of seeing this line kind of push through the valley as we go into the afternoon. Showers, possible thunderstorms through the afternoon tomorrow. Snow levels still around 3,500 to 4,500 feet. Let's take you into Thursday night. Now we're seeing things drying out for the valley westward, maybe a few scattered showers here and there. You'll also see some activity over the ocean. Off to the east, we are seeing those snow flurries. That's tomorrow night. And then maybe still more snow, especially in the eastern mountains in Modoc County, for your Friday. We'll get into that in your deeper dive forecast here in just a bit. But the winds here for tomorrow, much calmer. I don't think I hear anybody complaining about calmer winds here for your Thursday. So let's take a look at our forecast for tomorrow. So you can see the lightning strikes in there. Not everyone's going to see the lightning strikes. I think mainly just scattered off and on showers with a few embedded thunderstorms in there across the board. We'll see, right? And then, of course, it looks like mainly just some of those snow flurries off to the north and to the east. And a cool day again, but it should be a little bit warmer than it was today. Now for the valley, I'm expecting dry conditions for Friday and Saturday, another chance on Sunday. What I'm going to say about Sunday is it's a very weak system passing through, so don't count on much, if anything. And then it dries out for Monday, and looks like all of next week is looking fairly dry. Take you to the coast. You'll notice here as we go into Friday, I've got a chance here. Most of any activity we see on Friday looks to mainly be in Modoc County and into the eastern mountains. But I've still got that slight chance in there for even Siskiyou County. But as I mentioned, mainly for Modoc County, eastern mountains on Friday. Everyone expects dry conditions on Saturday, and then by Sunday, a slight chance. Again, nothing significant on Sunday, drying out for Monday and Tuesday of next week. All right, that's your Kruger's Quick Cast. Let's get you into your deeper dive forecast and really dive into it. Not only get you through the next 24 hours, but really even as we go into next week. So we got isolated thunderstorms and mountain snow tonight and tomorrow. Otherwise, just scattered showers, really, is what we're looking at here. Weaker winds Thursday, Friday. An unsettled pattern continues even into the weekend. But by next week, we've got a drier and slightly warmer weather pattern that'll be moving on in. So kind of this cool and unsettled weather pattern this week to drier and warmer next week. So again, we've got this big upper level flow. You see the speckled clouds. That's the colder air that's going to be streaming into Northern California. That's the cold and unsettled air. This right here is typical. So a lot of it will depend on if we get enough clearing, especially for the first half of the day tomorrow. That'll allow for a little bit of daytime heating. That alone can give us what we call convective showers and thunderstorms. That's when the heat from the surface rises into the colder air aloft, and it's an unstable atmosphere. And that's typically when we can start to see those thunderstorms. And that's why we're seeing that area of light green over many parts of Northern California. So again, we'll take a look at futurecast. Once again, 3,500, 4,500 feet, mainly above 4,000 feet though for tomorrow. As you saw here, most of it's up to the north. We saw this a little bit earlier. Most of it off to the north and west. By midday, we're seeing some of those kind of move through the valley, maybe an isolated thunderstorm in there for tomorrow afternoon. And then by tomorrow night, most of the activity is off to the east with some clearing for the rest of us. Now look at Friday morning. You see how we're seeing some scattered snow flurries, but everyone else looking dry. Friday through the afternoon, look where most of it is. Just a few snow flurries here and there, nothing significant, but everyone else fairly dry. So that's why I was talking about. I think it's mainly going to be Modoc County, eastern mountains for your Friday, and pretty much everyone else looking at mainly dry conditions here. And so here's a look at the amount of rainfall we can expect here through Friday. And again, I think it's doing a pretty good job on top of what we've already seen. We could see another 1/4 inch in Redding. You head southward, probably less. Where we're going to see more rain is off to the north and west. And of course, less rainfall off to the east. There still is a winter weather advisory for northern Trinity County until 9 o'clock tonight. Of course, that's Wednesday night. This is actually until 10 p.m. Friday. So again, you still have the chances for some of that snow here through the day tomorrow, Thursday, and of course, a little bit of that snow coming in on Friday as well. Forecast estimates with those snow totals through Friday night. Yeah, again, you can kind of see less than an inch here in Mount Shasta. So kind of thing is picking up better the fact that the snow levels will be a little bit higher there. But yeah, you might see a little dusting of snow out towards Alturas. Bernie, probably not. I don't think they'll get that low. But around Chester, I know they got some snowflakes today. Not a lot, but some snowflakes nonetheless. And you can see now that we're kind of the main storm system has passed through, we're not going to see as much activity and not as much snow in the mountains here as we take you into the next 24, even 48 hours. Hey, by the way, take a look at the Mount Shasta Ski Park. This is what it looked like earlier today. In fact, I showed this during our afternoon update, but this is what it looked like. And I just looked at it a second ago. Looks about the same. A lot of it was fairly wet snow for the second half of that snow event. But boy, this is really nice to see. I have a feeling, though, that once we go into the drier and warmer pattern next week, we'll probably see a lot of that begin to melt. But this is a sign of things to come. And to kind of give you an idea what we can see on top of what we've already seen here through Friday night, 10 p.m., yeah, now we're starting to see less snow, right? So now we're getting into the, I don't know, say maybe 2 to maybe 4 inches of new snow on top of what we've already seen there at the ski park. So that's good. That's good. We'll take it. I don't think I hear anyone complaining about that. Here's your forecast. Road conditions, 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. There's a look at Scott Mountain right there. Maybe a little bit of snow up there. Bogard Ranger Station on Highway 44. You can see some snow there. And up there at Cedar Pass, maybe some snow. So bottom line, if you're traveling in the mountains, especially east of I-5, be prepared for the fact that you may be dealing with some chain requirements over some of those higher mountain passes. By the way, as of this recording, I-5 closed up in Oregon out at Siskiyou Summit. There were some big rigs that had jackknifed, and they had to close I-5 in southern Oregon near the Siskiyou Summit area, both north and southbound. So hopefully that clears out here tonight and into tomorrow. But again, you can kind of see the conditions on I-5 look okay. We're not really seeing much. And we did see those chain requirements on Highway 89 east of I-5. Now, as we go through Thursday afternoon, conditions should improve, and we probably won't run into as many problems here for those chain requirements. But again, you'll definitely need to keep a close eye on it even for tomorrow. Wind's dying down tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. Let's take you into your Friday. Yeah, a little breezy on Friday, but certainly not to the extent of what we saw today. All right, so taking a look at Futurecast, the cool and unsettled pattern continues this week. This is what it looks like through Friday with the trough of low pressure. Now, Saturday, we've got a break for everybody. This is the system that'll probably weaken as it moves over us on Sunday. Slight chances for showers and snow flurries in the mountains across the board here as we go into Sunday, but you can see it's nothing significant. Then by Monday, we're starting to see a ridge of high pressure build in. That ridge builds and gets stronger. It acts like a brick wall, and it prevents any storms over the Pacific from moving on in, and they ride up and over that ridge, and we remain dry. So Monday through all of next week looking fairly dry at this point, and possibly a little warmer too. So there you can see what we're going to see here pretty much through Sunday. Not as much rain now. Now we're getting up to about 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch of rainfall. So we're starting to see less and less amounts as we go into the longer range, because the main system, for the most part, is pretty much passed. And now we look at the long range, we're kind of in the drier to near normal category. So really, we're drier than normal through next week. But then it looks like towards the end of next week into that next weekend, we could be looking at the potential for some more wet weather. But in the meantime, we're also looking at near normal temperatures too. So temperatures are increasing a little bit here. You can see that here in the 10-day trend, keeping it below normal. But there it is. As we go in the middle to latter part of next week, maybe around or just above average, but then we start to see a dip. And this dip in the temperatures, as I was mentioning, may be another sign of some rain and high elevation snow coming back into the picture. Look at the wave heights going into your Thursday. They're still fairly high, unfortunately, but it does look like as we go into your Friday, those wave heights will start to get lower and lower. So that certainly should help. So we look at your marine forecast for your Thursday. Yeah, west winds at about 5 knots, but the waves from the west at 14 feet at 14 seconds. There is a small correct advisory here for tomorrow. All right, let's take a look at your forecast here for tonight. Once again, temperatures mid to upper 40s in the valley, 30s for most of the higher elevations, and we're talking mid 40s. So tonight, if you see an isolated thunderstorm, don't be surprised. Otherwise, mainly just scattered showers, and I think most of those showers too will be to the north of the valley, but we could see a stray sprinkle or light shower overnight tonight, even for the valley and in the eastern mountains too. So your Trinity County neighborhood forecast for your Thursday, chance for showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. Don't expect much, if anything, on Friday, and then there you can see Saturday a break with maybe another slight chance for showers on Sunday. 54 degrees for Rio Dell, 54 in Blue Lake, 55 for Alder Point. Stray showers and maybe even a few thunderstorms for tomorrow afternoon for the coast and the inland areas as well. 53 for Smith River. There you can see 58 for Gas Key and about 49 degrees in Orleans. All right, let's take a look at your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. 47 degrees for Gazelle, 50 out in Happy Camp, and 44 degrees for McLeod. We take you out to Modoc County, 43 for Canby, 42 degrees that is for Tule Lake, 41 for Aden, and it looks like about 43 for Cedarville. All right, here's your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, 46 out in Westwood, 44 degrees for Shingletown and Paradise, about 52 degrees for your Valley neighborhood forecast, brought to you by our sponsor, Walgamith Painting. bringing you the Valley Neighborhood Forecast. 57 degrees for Orland, 58 for Hamilton City, and Biggs about 59 degrees. Up north, a high of 51 for Lakehead, 52 for Shingletown, and there you can see Cottonwood about 57 degrees. All right, let's take a look at that 7-day outlook for Redding. There's the showers, possible thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon. We do have dry and slightly warmer conditions for Friday, Saturday. Maybe a slight chance for showers on Sunday, but don't count on much, if anything, and then it's warming up and drying out as we go through next week. That is your evening update. I'll be back again tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. and live on Coffee with Kruger at 7 a.m. Have a good night.
Wiggly mouth.
Woggy mouth.
No.
Painting.
Wiggy mouth.
It's Woogie Moth Painting.
It's Wogamoth painting, and yes, we'll paint anything.